1. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Wrong. Life is made for greater things, and you are meant for greater things. When Les Brown was a child, he was labeled educable mentally retarded, and until a chance encounter with another teacher, he believed that he would amount to nothing. But this one teacher planted the seeds in Les' head which would blossom and grow, and eventually make him one of the best motivational speakers of all time. This speech will give you permission to rise above other people's opinions, to break free of their prejudices, and make a success of whatever you do. Watch, it's not over until you win. Your dream is possible, and take those first steps towards following your passion and making your dream come true. 2. Stress doesn't come from the facts, stress comes from the meaning that we give the facts. Life is about choices. Every day we are faced with hundreds of choices, and this speech by Tony Robbins will help you see that it's the choices, not the conditions, which shape our lives. Take a moment during this speech to pause and reflect on some choices you have made in the past, and really think about the direction your life took because of them, both good and bad. Tony Robbins explains in his inimitable way that we have the choice to focus on what we want, and that when we focus, we can achieve whatever we want. Part of Tony's speech explains how, when the economy is down, some people thrive and some people crash and burn, and the COVID-19 pandemic is the perfect example. Small businesses took a huge hit, and while some of them threw up their hands in despair and said, "That's it, it's over for us," others adapted, and saw it as an opportunity to expand, diversify, and turn the situation to their advantage. And that's the cornerstone of this video. How we react, how we adapt, and how we choose is the difference between success and failure. 3. So every representative that I do gets me closer to accomplishing the goal to make this goal, this vision, into reality. Be inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger as he talks about his goal of becoming Mr. Universe. Never wasting a second of his day, Arnie worked in construction, spent 5 hours in the gym, and went to acting classes, all of which took him further along his journey to making his dream come true. We all have a propensity to waste time, but if you have a goal, if you have a passion that smolders away, take a leaf out of Arnie's book and make sure that everything you do propels you forward. And don't be afraid to fail. 4. Your conviction and your convenience don't live on the same block. If you are a fan of The Secret, you will be familiar with Lisa Nichols. In this video, Lisa tells Tom Bilyeu how she was willing to leave everything and everyone behind in order to grow into the version of herself that she knew she wanted. Lisa explains how, as a young mother, she was forced to wrap her baby in a towel for 2 days because she had no money for diapers, and how it was at that moment that she vowed never to be that broke or that broken again. Change, success, drive, they're all inconvenient and disruptive, and Lisa Nichols demonstrates that wonderfully in this emotional and highly motivating interview in which she declares, "Your story is not meant to be your fortress, your story is meant to be your fuel." 5. Eric Thomas had a dream, a goal, and that goal was to be the best motivational speaker in the world. He didn't achieve this by giving 70% or 80%, he didn't achieve it by staying in bed late in the mornings. He achieved it by giving 100% every minute of every day. Listen to Eric's words, hear the passion in his voice, and feel the lessons he is giving to you if you want to be the best at whatever you do. 6. If we don't take control of our environment, it takes control of us. This short piece by Tony Robbins has been designed to show you that you are in control of your own environment. Whether you realize it or not, what goes on around you has a massive influence on the way you feel and the way you act. By taking leadership of your own life, you can defy outside influences and set your own tone for the day ahead, regardless of whatever or whoever is exerting pressure from the outside. Follow Tony's example of taking 10 minutes for yourself at the start of every day, for gratitude, prayer or wishes for family and friends, and a recap of what you want to accomplish that day, and your day will continue on that same path of thankfulness, hope, and goals. 7. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagined and something that's real, literally. If you want to emulate the way successful people behave, take these 10 billionaires' habits and adopt them yourself for 21 days. Built by Jim Quick as being, like a magic pill, these habits will rewire your brain into thinking and behaving like some of the world's most successful people. In this 8-minute clip, Jim shares how, for instance, your brain reacts the same way when you imagine your dog walking in as it does when your dog actually walks in, and this can apply to anything. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. As much as this applies to positive things, it also can be applied to negative things, so if you imagine failure, that's what you will get. Fill your mind with thoughts of success and that's what will happen. None of these habits are difficult to accomplish, but in doing so you will change your entire mindset into one of a hugely successful person, no matter what you want to achieve in life. 8. Don't leave crumbs. If this sounds more like a housekeeping hint and less like a motivational affirmation, you're 50% right. Our lives do need housekeeping, and not leaving crumbs, i.e. regrets, which will come back and rob your tomorrow of joy, is one of the chores you need to do on a daily basis. Matthew McConaughey delivers a powerful speech in a gentle way at the University of Houston commencement address, discussing the 5 rules he lives by. He will show you how to avoid falling into a trap of entitlement, and why unbelievable is the stupidest word in the dictionary. With some invaluable life lessons contained inside a highly watchable speech, Matthew McConaughey is an unlikely but very inspiring speaker who has stayed humble despite all his successes. 9. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Spoken with eloquence and quiet assuredness, this 6-minute speech draws on U.S. Navy Admiral William McRaven's experience of survival in the Navy SEALs. He explains how making your bed, while seemingly insignificant and even pointless, will set a series of tasks in motion which will ensure that at best, the first job of the day is done, and at worst, you have a neat, tidy bed to fall into at the end of a trying day. The world is full of people who want to bring you down, the sharks, but if you stand your ground, they will eventually swim away, leaving you to go on to bigger and better things. 10. Sometimes life's gonna hit you in the face with a brick, don't lose faith. Steve Jobs, chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Apple Inc. was hit in the face with more than one brick during his 56 years on Earth. From being given up for adoption as a baby, to being fired from the very company which he founded, he never let anything get in his way. In this commencement speech at Stanford University in 2005, Steve explained how his love for what he did spurred him on to rebuild his life in spectacular fashion. Life dealt a further blow when, in 2003, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. This speech focuses on 3 stories which, when combined, show how life offers opportunities for change and growth, no matter how dire the circumstances. Steve Jobs never graduated college, but when he died in 2011, aged just 56, he had a net worth of $7 billion United States dollars. He achieved this by doing what he loved, and in this speech he will inspire you to do the same.